The bads of Bollywood are trending on Twitter these days. Nothing bad about the people that come to this studio. I've got two very good men, very kind men, very jovial personalities with lots and lots of stories in the studio. Mr. Gavaskar and Mr. Bhogle, who I'm sure has a quip or two to make. Sir, please go for it.
No, I want to come very close because I wanted to hear carefully what you were saying.
There are two good men in the studio, two happy personalities who live life, enjoy life.
A few good men. But can you handle the truth?
Yes, sir, I can. That's why we're here today.
Jessup.
Can Oman handle the truth of playing the powerhouses India? This is the last group game before we get into the Super Fours. This match is, of course, being played in Abu Dhabi. Centre pitch, India versus Oman. It is clearly a mismatch, but here's an opportunity for Oman. Apparently, they turned up at 4 p.m. today, according to Pratyush Sinha's Cricket Buzz report.
Well, it's David versus Goliath stuff. Yep. Honestly speaking, within this Asia Cup, India has such clear favourites that when you come across an associate country, it's a complete mismatch. Yeah. But it's an opportunity for Oman and Oman players to put in a performance which they can tell their kids and grandkids about.
Yeah.
It's not about maybe even winning the game. It's about, someone scoring 30-40 and saying, oh, listen, you know what? I scored 40 against this Indian team. Yeah. Someone getting Shubman Gill out saying, I got Shubman Gill out. Yeah. Someone getting Hardik out saying, I got a Hardik out. These are stories which we'll talk about, 10, 15 years down the line. This will be, and without trying to sound pompous as an Indian, this will be a big highlight in their cricketing career.
Yeah. No doubt. I thought of that. Honestly, I thought of that. I wasn't here, but I was watching one of the games. When I saw that Simranjeet Singh,
UAE.
He was so happy when he got 3 wickets there. Yeah. Exactly the kind of story. One day he'll put his feet up and say, Pakistan ke against 3 wickets liya main 4 over mein.
It's tough, right, to not be in awe of your opponent. You're playing against India, a team full of
superstars. It can work 2 ways. It can work 2 ways. Either you can be overawed and say, what are we doing here? Or you can say, I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I've got nothing to lose. Come on, man, let me go. We're going to lose anyway. It's like India playing football against some nations.
Sure.
You know you can't win, and that's when you say, okay, chalo, let's give our best.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity for them to say, come, let's give our best, man. For example, there was that number 3 player. He looked very good in that first game, Hamad Mirza.
Yes.
So for someone like him, just go and play your shots. Look how good. I think they should draw inspiration from UAE and see how good Wasim and especially the young kid there, Alishan Sharafu. See how good he started looking. So maybe we can too.
Right, from an India fan perspective, these are clearly exciting days, Rohan, for the India white ball cricket lover as well. You look at the 2023 World Cup, the T20 World Cup, the Champions Trophy, the Asia Cup as well. Safe to say that this Indian team is the most dominant force in world white ball cricket these days.
Well, it is one of the most dominant forces in world cricket. You've got to put Australia up there.
Sure.
Yes, we are an extremely strong side, but if you had the numbers tell you that full member teams in T20s, Australia are above us at the moment in that sense. But you look at the runs per over, Australia at 10.1, India at 9.87, England aren't too far behind at 9.8.
Yep.
So between that big three, it's such a close contest with so many match winners in each side that sometimes it depends on which match winner wins the game for you.
Yeah.
Because in T20, you've got one match winner who clicks and that could be the game done. Sure. So while we are right up there, I wouldn't say we are the most dominant.
Yeah.
We are in a group, a small elite group of dominant forces, but we're up there.
It's just those 2 trophies, the Champions Trophy and the T20 World Cup, which perhaps tempts the Indian fan to say, it maybe slightly better.
Because India were unbeaten in both.
Yeah.
I thought India played their most breathtaking cricket, to be honest, in the World Cup of 23.
Yeah.
They just played astonishingly good cricket. They were fantastic. Over 50 overs, the better team tends to win more often. Over 50 overs. In 20 over games, someone turns it around 15, 20 minutes, things can change. I mean, you look at in England, you look at a Phil Salt bats for 35, 40 minutes. A Mitch Marsh bats 35, 40 minutes. The game has changed.
Yeah.
But overall, if you see, I think India won 23 and lost 1.
Yep.
And 1 washout out of 25 games, something like that, around those. It's as dominant as that. So to that extent, yes, reminiscent of how Australia were 2003-07. I mean, what Australia did in 2007. They just made that the most one-sided World Cup of all.
Yeah.
2007. Some people say it's still going on. I don't know. But,
Before I give you the toss update, just a quick one. This Indian white ball dominance, can the roots be traced back to the 18th of April 2008?
18th of April 2008.
Brendan McCarthy.
Start of the IPL.
When the IPL started.
Yeah.
It could be, definitely. But I think, yeah, that was when the seeds were planted. Maybe we didn't know what seeds we were planting. Let's be honest then. But what's happened in the last 6-7 years is, I think, what is where it's taken off. Because you're seeing a Jaiswal not getting in the team. Can you imagine? Yashasvi Jaiswal is not in the Indian team. Which other team in the world would he not walk into?
Yeah.
I mean, other than Salt and Butler opening for England, which other team will he not walk into? So yeah, over the last 5-6 years, yes. Especially because the standard of cricket in the IPL is...
And therefore...
Our Manish likes to keep us on our toes. 18th of April. There's nothing simple about it.
So I'm trying to think, we're talking about Champions Trophy, ICC World Cup.
Yeah.
But that 2007 when we won, but that was not in April. So
Joy is going to take serious offense to this.
Joy, why are you fighting on Joy's shoulder?
Moving on, he spoke about the kind of talent we have in India, and India has chosen to test their bench strength. And guess what? India has won the toss and chosen to
Bat
first.
I'm not surprised.
Even I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the 11. The captain said they want to test their bench strength as expected. 2 changes. Let's take a look at the India 11. In comes Harshit Rana and Arshdeep Singh, and that means no Varun and no Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah, look, I think Jasprit not playing is not a shock to anyone. You know, there's a lot been spoken about workload management where he's concerned, and we've got to try and make sure that he's completely fit and ready to go when the big games come. And this is a game which is a no-brainer when you think of, giving him a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
Harshit Rana, again, I actually thought you might, someone like Rinku Singh might get a go.
Yeah.
But they've gone in for, they've dropped Varun again, someone who probably, they said, okay, you've been fine, take a breather. Yeah. Let's get Harshit Rana in. Yeah. I'm a little disappointed in that because I had Varun as my lead wicket taker. So I'm a little disappointed that he's not playing.
I had to. The last time I had someone who, as the lead wicket taker in a tournament, he did not play a single match.
Wow.
And that was?
Arshdeep Singh at the Champions Trophy. Poor Arshdeep. Well, he's got a game.
Yeah.
I have a question for you on Bumrah, actually. Does he need more T20 game time? I thought he looked a little off against the first game India played. UAE. Does he need more game time? Or, in fact, I think the best thing India could do here is get 5 more players and just play India versus India a warm-up game and let Bumrah bowl to Jaiswal.
I was just going to say, when you say more game time, this game time against Oman is not, I wouldn't say not worth it, but it's not... For a player of Bumrah's ability, he may not also, be completely 100% mentally fired up for a game against Oman. He'll play at maybe 60-70% because it's just natural. He's human. His focus level, intensity level might drop against Oman. So it's better off just giving him a break, saying, listen, you just... see, my thought process, I'm not sure what they've done. When you're giving someone a break, he's not going to play, I would have said just stay in the hotel.
Yeah.
There's no need to even come to the ground. Just, it's a day off, do what you've got to do.
Yeah.
You want to hit the spa, you want to, don't even come to the ground.
Something interesting about the India 11, the order in which the names are written. Sanju Samson at 3. What does that tell you about
Hardik Pandya at 4? Is that the team list that's come from there?
Yes.
Because Tilak Verma at 6.
Yeah.
Mumbai Indians tried playing Tilak Verma at 5 and it didn't work at all. The moment he went back to 3, he was unrecognizable. You could only recognize the tattoos, not the batter. He was a different player. So maybe this is just saying, look, Sanju Samson need more game time. But the interesting thing is, in the big game, Sanju is going to bat at 5 anyway.
Yeah, but so Tilak also needs more game time.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's hardly had any. So I would have Tilak at 3.
Interesting.
I would have changed the batting order. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be batting at a certain number and in a certain situation in the big game. So I wouldn't have changed the batting order.
Yeah, apparently Harshit Rana has also spent a lot of time batting in the nets with Gautam Gambhir, having a long conversation with him.
Yeah.
I wonder what sort
Harshit Rana, the batter, is at the moment a conversation topic, not a cricketing topic.
Yeah.
He still has to prove himself as a batter at that level. We've seen that he's got the long hits, but we haven't seen them in a big game yet.
Yeah.
But it's very critical for his future that he becomes that kind of player. So that India's looking at that number 8.
Yep.
Harshit Rana should be thinking to himself, oh, number 8 now, I'm going to make that my place.
There's someone else as well that's fast becoming a favorite for car lovers. In fact, that person is someone that we are supposed to introduce to Mr. Gavaskar. We met the wonderful Kara the other day. Rohan, you weren't around. And so we thought, why not get Kara here on Crick Buzz Live?
I love the name. Car for a car, this thing, Kara. It's a great name.
And he's a car lover. So.
Absolutely. He loves...
I'm actually not.
No?
It's not one of my...
I need to have a chat with your father.
You must.
You love Kara. Who is India's first intelligent, intuitive, conversational in-car companion. Of course, part of the brand new Citroen Basalt. And so I thought, Kara, what do I ask her today?
Ask Kara.
Oh, I have something.
Okay.
Hi, Kara. How about you give me a fun trivia on Shubman Gill?
Okay.
Shubman Gill always carries a red handkerchief during matches as a good luck charm, a habit he started after scoring a century in an under-16 game.
Wow.
He's also the fastest player to reach 2,000 runs in ODIs, and the youngest to score a double century in ODIs at just 23 years old.
Wow. Wow. You see that? No wonder, Kara, they call you...
I've got a question for you now, on a quick. Give me 2 other players who would have a red handkerchief with them.
Steve Waugh?
Yeah, okay, 1. And the original?
The original.
OG?
Original. I love you. Well done.
Yeah.
He kept throwing these
Yeah, he
names
was
at
wearing
me.
Greenwich?
Arre yaar, the red.
Bishan Singh Bedi?
Mohinder.
Oye. Sorry, sir. Bhul gaya.
Jimmy
Now I shall know. I should have asked Kara before answering that question. Because Kara is India's first intelligent co-passenger. Now, of course, she mentioned Shubman Gill. All of us know about his class, and therefore, Shubman Gill is our player to watch out for, powered by the new Citroen Basalt. Thrill bhi, style bhi, Shubman Gill. Now, the one word that is often associated with Shubman Gill, Rohan, is undroppable across formats. What do you make of him?
Well, undroppable. Look, with the test performances that he's shown, he's undroppable over there.
Yep.
In ODI cricket, he's just phenomenal. He's, you know, when you get that little longer time to bat, get set, his numbers just supreme. In T20 cricket, this is an opportunity for him to make sure he's undroppable. He's vice captain. He was vice captain earlier. He's someone I think the selectors might be looking at as an all-format, not just an all-format player, but in the future being an all-format captain.
Yeah.
Obviously with age on his side and with that captaincy experience already with Test cricket and the way he led the side in England, they must be looking at him as an all-format captain.
Sure.
Look, there's no... You look at his numbers in the IPL in a T20, they're amazing.
He's 51 average 50, striking 155.
But there you go.
Yeah.
That
is combination.
That is just mind-blowing numbers. You know, an average of 50, striking of over 150. And so that tells you that he obviously has that T20 ability. He doesn't even need to crack how to play T20 cricket. He just needs more opportunities at international level to just make his numbers all right. Right now, it's a small sample size. The more he plays T20 international cricket, his numbers will be absolutely fine in that as well.
And hopefully he'll give India the same batting numbers that he does for the Gujarat Titans. Now, this is a very interesting passage in his career. Do you see Shubman Gill as India's next all-format captain?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But it might be too early to have a conversation on it because you already have a T20I captain. And we cannot afford to have him looking over his shoulder at Shubman Gill. What I would want from Shubman Gill is to go and replicate his performances in the IPL over here and just chill, watch. I notice he's fielding in the deep and just imagine, pretend you're captain. You know, I love the story that Pep Guardiola once said that, sorry, wrong club. The actual Manchester club. Sorry. No, but he said when he was playing, it's interesting, when he was playing, he used to think like a manager and say, okay, if I was manager, what would I do? And I think Shubman Gill standing at long on. So he said, when I became manager, I had already been manager.
But
because
Harsha, I used to tell all my players at Bengal, when I was captain, I'm saying, you all have to think like captain.
Exactly.
Because even if what happens is, even if you're you're a third man or finding or in the deep, it keeps you in the game.
Yeah.
You're thinking, okay, if I had to make a change right now, what would I do? Which bowler would I bring on? What field position would I have? So you never drift away from the game, especially in a 4-day game. You know, there are passages in the game where there's a lull, nothing's happening. But if you're thinking like a captain, you're always alert. So you're right.
Or Shubman Gill, I would like Shubman Gill to be doing just now because it is inevitable that he will be your next T20I captain. Unless something goes wrong, you don't want to think about that. So it is inevitable. So I would think Shubman Gill, focus on your batting and just think, what would I have been doing? What would I have been doing?
And with time, he'll figure his own style, right? Very different from
he's done it already.
His style in batting?
Captaincy.
No, he's done it with look, he's been captaining for a while now, so there's no question of figuring out his own style. He already has his own style. He's got a lot of plaudits for the way he led the test team, which was amazing in England. I do feel captaincy in T20 cricket probably is, in a sense, the toughest.
Sure.
Because you make a mistake for a couple of overs in your decision making and the game's gone. In test cricket, you could have a bad session. You go back in the dressing room, you speak with your seniors, you speak with your management, and you can come back and rectify it.
Yeah.
You don't have that luxury in T20 cricket. So in T20 cricket, my feeling is, as a captain, it's probably the toughest format.
Yeah. Fun insights from my co-passengers here. Think like a captain, think like a manager. Kara, I'm going to ask you to think like an anchor. How about you ask Mr. Gavaskar a question? If you had a chance to ask Rohan Gavaskar a question, what would it be? Go for it. Here's your chance.
If I could ask Rohan Gavaskar a question, it might be about his experiences growing up in a cricketing family and how that influenced his approach to the game. It would be fascinating to hear his insights on balancing personal expectations with such a strong legacy.
Good question.
Yeah, well,
Good
look,
question.
I think growing up in a cricketing family, it sort of prepares you for, if you take up the sport, it prepares you to, what the sport's all about. You have, cricketing conversations at home. And back in the day when my dad played, it wasn't as strict as it is now in terms of I could travel with the team.
Yeah.
Right? I could travel with the team bus, or etc. So that, in a sense, also gave me an insight as to what international cricket's like, what the pressures are like, the crowd expectations, when the crowd comes in. So when you actually go and play in front of a packed stadium, you're not nervous because you've experienced that, not in a playing way, but you've seen that as a kid. So you're not really that nervous when you step onto a packed stadium. And the second part of the question, I think very early on, you've got to realize that, and this is the advice I give to all young kids, is that you've got to be the best that you can be. Now, the best that you can be, you could be a club cricketer, you could be a first-class cricketer, you could be an international cricketer who plays 100 test matches, or you could be an international cricketer who plays 2 test matches.
Yeah.
But be the best that you can be. So at the end of the day, you have no regret saying that, I could have done a bit more. That's the advice I give. If you're the best that you can be, you've maxed your potential and you've got to maybe even club cricket, so be it. That's your potential, you've done it.
Very sound advice, because that happened to me.
Yeah.
When I got picked for the Rohinton Baria trophy for Osmania University, Rohinton Baria, I was overjoyed. I still am. Because I knew, given everything else, that was the level I was going to play at. I have no regret saying, yaar, ek aur level khelta tha to. I said, wow, man, मैं engineering कर रहा हूँ, French कर रहा हूँ, ये कर रहा हूँ, ये भी select, wow. So it's very sound advice. Whatever level you play at, be happy at the level you're playing at and be the best you can be at that level.
Fabulous. Great question, Kara. Clearly, Kara seems to have all the answers and at times some fun questions as well. And I hope for India fans' sake, Shubman Gill also finds out all the answers because he is our player to watch out for, powered by the new Citroen Basalt Thrill-B Style-B. Now then, let's take a look at the Oman 11. What is the 11 that they're going to go out and bowl with right up first? Remember, India has won the toss and chosen to bat first. Here you are then. Mr. Bhogle, all yours. Mohammad Nadeem and Zikriya Islam are the two names.
I just want to say, I think Harsha is going to talk more about Samay Srivastava, so you might as well.
But he bowled, I saw him bowl at 1 over. Then he only got 1 over. Next game, he bowled 4 overs, he got a wicket.
Yeah.
But there's something about him, he fizzed one outside off.
Yeah.
He fizzed that leggy outside off.
Yeah.
But the bowler was the two bowlers impressed by.
Yeah.
The first game was Shah Faisal with the new ball. He's only about 123, 124, 125 maybe.
Yeah.
But I thought he bowled very good lengths.
Yeah.
And Shakil, who bowled in the power play.
Yes, the left-arm spin.
Left-arm spinner, Shakil, quick, clever bowler. Yeah. So those are the bowlers. So when Rohan said right at the start that you should go and say, yeah, this is what I did against India. It's players like these guys. Yeah. Say there's a Samay Srivastava, there's a Shakil. Where are they going to generate the stories to tell people? I mean, Samay Srivastava turns one outside this guy's Shubman's off stump. Maybe just knocks a bail off a Shakil. It's a great story. So they must go and think.
I'll tell you a similar story. We were playing a Duleep Trophy match. I'm just going to digress a little bit. A similar story. And it was East Zone versus West Zone. And I'll tell you why I bring this. And Sachin Tendulkar and Vinod Kambli were having a rollicking partnership. And they were just smashing it around. And I was asked to come and bowl. And Sachin, I think, was batting 160, 180. And I told him, I said, listen, Sachin, Bradman, when Bradman was batting and he got bored of batting, he'd get out to one of his friends. Nice. So I said, whenever you're bored right now,
tell me.
Just give me a sign and I'll make sure I come out to bowl at that point.
Did he oblige?
He did. I think he was unbeaten at the end. I think he got a double 100 and Vinod also got a big 100.
Great story.
But these are the memories that you want to make. That just at the end of the day, say, I got Sachin Tendulkar out.
What a great. This is what you get on Crick Buzz from Rohan Gavaskar. He's got a ton of these stories. By the way, there's a 43-year-old Mohammad Nadeem who's come into the 11. 43-year-old, probably his last chance.
Could be. What a day for him then.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see, this is what you get sometimes with the associate nations. But I'd also like to see maybe an 18-year-old somewhere. And that 18-year-old thinks, if I do this, who knows what's next?
Yeah.
So when you get some of the associate nations, it's like when we used to play lower division cricket, it was this young kid with a manager playing for the company team. Yeah. And you got to impress the manager, but he's also there, right? So I hope he goes well. I hope he doesn't look out of place. I hope he comes in full of confidence.
Yeah.
And they're going to bowl full 20 overs today. So it's
you mentioned Shakil Ahmed, who I believe is their highest T20 international wicket taker. You do a lot of these leagues across the world, Rohan. Would talent scouts of some of those teams be willing to look at players from these nations?
Well, especially if you perform against the big boys. Yeah. If you get in a good performance against India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, then you think, okay, listen, this player has got something in them.
Yeah.
Maybe we could hone that skill level and polish it a little bit more and make them play a few more, games in the leagues. But they've got to show that potential and that promise against the big teams.
I keep coming back to IL-20. I think IL-20 is starting to do that for some players from UAE.
Yeah.
Especially this young, so impressive, this Alishan Sharafu. I think he's coming through, having played with some of the good players in IL-20.
Yeah.
I saw the other day at a key moment, Saurabh Netravalkar in the CPL.
Yeah.
He's gone to be a software engineer in the US. He's still an amateur cricketer in spite of that fantastic T20 World Cup. Yeah. But see, he does that. He bowls that phenomenal super over against Pakistan.
Yeah.
He's picked for the CPL. Now suddenly, I am a software engineer too, but I'm doing that over there because you bowled that super over against Pakistan and did well.
Many such stories of so many players in action at the Asia Cup. There's Jatinder Singh as well, who works for a company in Oman, who's been around for a long time. But we've got to talk about Tilak Verma, one of the more promising young stars in this Indian T20 international side. There are others waiting in the wings who haven't got a look in. I can think of Shreyas Iyer, Ruturaj Gaikwad as well.
Yashasvi
as well. But in that middle order, at number 4, India preferred Tilak Verma. Why does he edge the others out? Why is he? Why do you think he's preferred over?
Yeah, I was going to say that's a question
For your friend, for your golfer
Mr.
friend.
Agarkar and the rest of the selection
Is there something about him that works in his favor? Maybe because he's a left-hander?
I think it's honestly just a problem of plenty at the moment.
Sure.
It's a good problem to have. In a sense, at the end of the day, it also comes down to just, the selectors thinking, okay, listen, let's give Tilak a longer rope. We've seen what he can do. We've seen, and at the international level, and those who are just trying to break into that international team, it doesn't matter what you do in the Ranji Trophy or even in the IPL, unless the players who are already there playing for India are doing badly.
Yeah.
You can't drop someone if he's doing well for India just because someone's doing better in the IPL.
Yeah.
And this is not a recent phenomena. You go back to the 70s, I'll tell you two spinners who should have played for India, who didn't play for India, simply because we had the magical quartet.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. You go back to the 1990s and that era when you had, in the middle order, you had four magnificent players in the batting order. So a lot of players didn't get opportunities to play for India in Test cricket. So it is just the nature of the game that sometimes you're stuck in a... No, but I wouldn't say stuck. I mean, you're playing at a time when there's no opportunity at the international level. Having said that, I think in this day and age, there are more opportunities in the international level.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot more players playing international cricket. Deservedly so.
Sure.
I'm not saying undeservedly, deservedly so, because the number of games that we play at the international level across formats has increased.
Yeah.
A lot of players are taking breaks as well. And say, okay, listen, this is a tournament I might skip. This is a tournament I might, just a match I might not play. Simply because, like we said, workload management. So a lot of players do get that opportunity.
That's what happened with Tilak Varma. When the national team was away, they picked a team to go to South Africa. And Tilak Varma got picked in that side. And I think he told Surya Kumar Yadav, can I play number 3? And he said, okay, here's a kid who's volunteering for that. You go. He goes and hits 100. He gets 100 against England or against Bangladesh. I think he gets 100 there. So if you see his numbers at number 3 for India, they're astonishing. I mean, look at those numbers.
Yeah.
So, but the question you asked him is valid, that you wanted that left-hander up there too.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, several times, today you're playing on the center pitch, but several times there's one shorter boundary. You always want one left-hander.
Yeah.
But at number 3, he's done whatever has been asked of him. So sometimes you get a game because somebody's not there, and then you do so well that you can't be dropped.
Yeah.
He's also been picked as the captain of the India A side to play against Australia. 50-over format, clearly the selectors are looking at him beyond just T20 cricket.
Well, they should, because he is a fabulous talent.
Yeah.
I think, and not just him, you take any of the names that you took.
Sai Sudarshan.
Sai Sudarshan, they're fabulous talents. And that is what I say when I say our country right now is blessed in abundance with cricketing ability and talent.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are now appreciating it because of the IPL.
Yeah.
It's what the IPL's also done is it's given players. See, one of the reasons you start playing the sport is obviously, now it's a great sport. But what you also want is recognition of your skill set, of your abilities.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, let's not forget that people want to say, "Oh, he was a good player."
Yeah.
He's a gun player. He's a really good player. Now, players who play in the IPL get that.
Yeah.
Back in the day, if you didn't play international cricket, no one followed your domestic cricket. So a lot of players who had ability in domestic cricket and did really well in domestic cricket, but maybe didn't get the opportunity at the international level, their abilities aren't as recognized as the abilities of players who are now playing domestically in India. Yeah. So it's a big thing.
But you mentioned the ODIs. I think I was doing one of the post-match presentations last year or the year before that, and just Rohit let it slip. So it must have been a couple of years ago. He just let it slip, saying, this boy will be an all-format player for India. And that was when he was just on the fringes. So, and I mean, the one thing you have to hand to Rohit as captain is he's an arm round the shoulder captain.
Yeah.
He's whatever. So maybe he was trying to encourage him, but he just let that go.
will be in the spotlight. He will get a chance to bat in this lineup. Harshit Rana has come in and so has Arshdeep Singh. India won the toss and chosen to bat first. Those are the two changes. No Varun and no Jasprit Bumrah, who have been given the arrest in this game against Oman. Two changes to the Oman 11 as well. 43-year-old Mohammad Nadeem comes in, can bat and bowl, right arm medium pace. And then there is 26-year-old Zikriya Islam, who also finds an opportunity to play against the powerhouses India. Now, who's going to be a powerhouse on this Joy Factor question? Let's bring it up.
I've got every Joy Factor question wrong.
You're a bona fide quizzing expert, sir.
No, but in this thing, I've realized either you get your prediction game right or you get the Joy Factor right. You don't get both right.
Okay, here we go then. If Mohammad Nabi hit the most sixes in the 20th over of a T20I last night, who has hit the most sixes in the 19th over of a T20I?
I can hazard a guess. I don't know if it was a T20 or a 50-over game, but I am going to go with what's his name? The guy who hit UV for 5 sixes.
Dimitri
Mascarenhas. I don't know if that was a T20 game or
might have been a 50-over
might have been a 50-over game.
It was just before the T20.
Yeah. So I'm not. If it's. So I'm not sure, but we'll give it a thought.
We shall reveal the answer.
No, this is not my final answer. Lock nahi kiya jaye.
Good shot.
Yeah, lock nahi kiya jaye. I'm going to think about it.
Or go option.
Dimitri, yeah. Nice name. No, time hai na abhi.
Okay. Let's wait. We'll give them some time to think.
I know there was one innings Andre Russell played in a CPL. This T20Is.
Eyes.
So it's not in the CPL.
Yeah,
For now, let's focus on predictions. India batting first, sir.
Oh.
Full innings score.
Yeah.
Full innings score.
Yeah. 196.
Abu Dhabi. Better batting track.
Might be even more.
210.
2-2-2.
Choo.
Then you have to say it like that.
Yeah.
Aye, sir. अच्छी बनो, sir.
क्यों?
Okay.
मोहम्मद रफी के गाने नहीं गाते हो?
222.
Yeah.
Lock it and make sure you join us at the 10 over mark on Crick Bus Box. Bye-bye. Enjoy the game.